And welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the patience. And I just realised that I was attempting to use a recording device that was switched off and not actually recording my voice. So I have two uploads that are dead to the world. No recording, no nothing. So gotta love that. Gotta love life. So here we go again. Round three, Death Guard v Tau. Yeah, let's rip into it. So list has not changed, will not change, as I will say multiple times. A little bit keen to try see what's going to happen with the points changes that came through. What I'm going to do to adjust the list. I'm possibly just going to add another 5-man squad of Vesper just to make it a little bit more uppy downy. I probably could drop Cruit and add extra Piranha, but I don't have enough time between now and Ratcon to build paint, get it ready. But yeah, as for right now, that's the list and that's what it will be. And let's get to the game. So, Mission C, linchpin tipping point. Opponent was a defender and opponent went first. Playing in a Death Guard never really had a good game against him. Even when I played Dark Angels, found it really hard to deal with, and I was a little bit nervous. Have changed the way I deploy, not aggressive, but also kind of like using the typical Tower Castle, but I spread myself out slightly, so I was castling across basically all of my deployment zone. Only the 3 units of crisis suits with commanders in deep strike, so about 750 points, and I don't know, I just feeling slightly confident this time around for once. So let's jump into turn one. I will note now that while I've got you all, the scores look different. I actually incorrectly scored this game now that I've gone back through it a couple of times and figured it out. So the final score I think I had for the game was 65-78, which was a 13-point loss. But now that I've gone back through, because I had to score a couple of things, realizing I didn't score primary properly, the final score was actually 72-78. And that is a myriad of points earned through game, but also the 10 points you get for painting. So without the painting, it's 68-62, but everyone gets 10 points for painting. That's the whole point of having a painted army at a tournament. So let's go round one. As I was saying, round one, Castle, very close, very slow, very close. The round score 5-4 is actually 15-14, given that there's 10 points for the painting. Opponent drew cleanse and no prisoners, scored 5 on cleanse, and ditched no prisoners for CP. I got no prisoners and established locust. I managed to score 4 out of the 5 points for no prisoners. And then, sacked established locust for the extra CP, getting us the very quick end of round one. Turn one, I should say, sorry. As I said, scores 15-14 with that 10 points from the painting. So, it says 5-4. All the scores until the very end are prior to paint scores added in. In a T2, so we're getting into T2. Opponent smashed it 13 points on primary to my 3. Secure no man's land display might. 9 out of 9 victory points possible scored. I at least tried to keep level. I scored 8 out of 8 with engage on all fronts and bring it down. So that was really good for me. Again, so pretty cruisy, pretty close. That extra VP as well as the thing. While I did score 10, 11, having 22 scored makes things a lot harder, when you're really chasing uphill. But it also means that from now on, I will have access to the challenger cards, which, if you are new to all of this, have just been scrapped in the last balance pass by Games Workshop to get rid of them from the game. I thought they were pretty good. They were helping with those who were seriously behind, like me. But supposedly it's unbalanced because people have managed to score it and then jump in front and win games. But yeah, that's what it is. They've made a choice that they think is going to work better. I don't really like it. I think there's other choices they could have made, include balancing the Tyranids Shadow of the Warp ability. Something I've got to double check. I believe things can only stack to -1, not -2. So in that case, my round two opponent made some mistakes, but you know, it is what it is. So yeah, that's the end of turn two. Again, turns went pretty quick. Turn 3 and 4 we slowed down a little bit. We did get through all 5 turns, but yeah, here we go. Next turn. So as you see, turn 3, opponent then managed to score 6 points on primary, but also managed to score all of his secondary, so another 9 out of 9, giving him another 15 points on primary, which, you know, painful, hurts. I only managed to score 7 points for the entire turn. Got rid of area denial for a CP. Managed to score display of might for max score. Got burst of speed. I actually didn't score anything on my primary because I did not hold my home objective because I got charged, and you know I misscored my home objective. Well, you look at that. I have made massive amounts of mistakes in this game. Oh no, I didn't because he charged onto it and had models on there at the end of my turn, which I think out-dingoed me. So maybe I didn't score. I scored that correctly. I don't know. I'd have to pay more attention next time because scoring matters, as you can see, because that would then put it to a 3-point game. Given that later on I forgot to score something where I actually had control of my home objective, and therefore it changed the whole score system massively. But yeah, got an area denial for extra CP, so end of T3, 42-22. Possibly should be 42-25, but it is what it is. Next turn, as we jump into T4, opponent again really killed me with the 13 points on primary. Got small marked for death, which he drew in behind enemy lines, which he didn't max out on that either. So he managed to score 5 out of 9 for his secondaries, which again makes things a little harder. I at least kept score this way. I got my 3 points from burst of force of breach from my challenger card. Actually, this turn I almost, what do we got, 11. Yeah, I scored 14. So 14 versus 18 only was outscored by 4. But yeah, it did make a big difference. I held on to a tempting target till round 4 or 5. Round 5, which is the next round, which I scored it, but I got assassination and scored that. So yeah, jump into T5. And again, as I said, I made mistakes. I have 78-65 there. That includes the paint scores. I did make a mistake. I held my main objective in T5, which gives me 3 points, but then it changes the objective markers on the. It gives me 3 extra points, which really bumped the score up in terms of how I went. I scored my renewed focus challenger card, and I got a tempting target, and I got secure no man's land in T5. Opponent managed to score tempting target over on force, but yeah, apart from that, good tight game. Scores there 78-65. Actual scores are 78-72. After I have fixed it because I made a mistake, which I didn't realise. But yeah, I think that overall I didn't do too bad of a job. Could have done a little more. Was outscored by 10 points on primary and only 5 points on secondaries, which I probably could have. Yeah. Look, I don't know if I could have gotten any closer. I definitely think I did pretty well. So yeah, great game. Scores, I made plenty of mistakes by the looks of it now that I've gone back through and checked because originally it only showed me scoring 3, but I had to get 2 for Secure No Man's Land for Max, so it played up. It also meant that I scored more than I thought, and now that I've gone back through and had a look at it, I also scored my home objective from memory, the way it looks in the photos and the way it reads. But yeah, game 3 definitely picked me up from game 2, which was a shellacking and not much fun. And, you know, Dan was an amazing guy. We had lots of laughs, super positive. Um, yeah, I was in the game for a long time. I really knew that I could possibly drag it back or turn it around. There was a fair bit there in turn 4 and 5 where I really thought, hang on, if I just get a little bit lucky here, things would switch. Unfortunately, it wasn't, but I, scored really well again. So I've had 2 really high scoring games for the Saturday, which it is what it is. Played through to the end, and you know, I can't complain I can't ask for much more. I do have to go back and re-record the first 2 games because I was using a microphone that was A, not charged, or B, not turned on, and I don't know which one it was. So yeah, but that's what it is. That's where we're at, and I'll fix them and repost them. So this will be up shortly. It'll be scheduled to go out roughly midnight tonight, Australian time, 12 a.m. Certainly it'll be 12:01 tomorrow morning. It'll go out. It'll be visible. So yeah, keep on a lookout, and thanks for everything Thanks for what everyone is doing, and we'll see you next one. Bye for now.